They ask for one more reason, you give it. They attack that reason, so you give another. 5 minutes later, you are defending a decision you already made, and somehow, they are acting like the judge. When this happens, do not search for a better explanation. Create a choice gap. Pause before your next answer, then say, I've answered you. My decision isn't changing. That is the move. Not because one sentence can control another person. It cannot. The pause gives you time to choose your answer. The short sentence gives the pressure less new material to work with. Most people over-explain because they are trying to be fair. They think, if I can make this person understand, they will finally accept my answer. But understanding and acceptance are not the same thing. Someone can understand your decision perfectly and still dislike it. Watch how the pressure changes shape each time one door closes. A coworker asks, can you cover my shift on Saturday? You answer, no, that doesn't work for me. They push, why not? You told me you weren't doing anything. You try to be reasonable. I've had a long week. I need the day to rest. They reply, rest? You can rest on Sunday. I really need you to do this. Now the first reason has already become a new argument. This is the moment the old pattern usually takes over. You begin listing everything that happened during your week. You explain your plans. You try to prove that your exhaustion is legitimate. Instead, create the choice gap. Pause. No dramatic stare. No silent contest. Just enough time to stop answering automatically. In that gap, ask yourself, am I giving information or am I asking for permission? If the decision is already yours to make, you do not need to keep presenting evidence until the other person approves. The pause may feel uncomfortable. If you are used to keeping everyone calm, even 2 quiet seconds can feel rude. Your mind will rush to fill the space with an apology, a softer excuse, or one more detail. Let the discomfort exist. You are not punishing anyone with silence. You are making sure the next words are chosen instead of pulled out of you. Then give a closed sentence. I've answered you. I can't cover Saturday. A closed sentence does not insult them or diagnose them. It simply ends at your decision instead of opening another argument. Deliver it in your normal voice. Do not whisper it like a confession. Do not raise it like a threat. And do not attach a nervous paragraph after it. The strength comes from the sentence ending where you intended it to end. This is especially important when you freeze under pressure. You do not need a perfect speech stored in your head. You need one sentence short enough to survive the moment. Now the pressure changes from logic to guilt. Wow, I always help you. I guess that means nothing. This is where you may feel tempted to defend your gratitude. That would open a second trial. Keep the answer connected to the decision. I appreciate the times you've helped me. I still can't cover Saturday. They switch again, this time from guilt to identity. You're being selfish. Now they are no longer challenging your schedule. They are challenging who you are. That accusation creates a powerful urge to prove you are a good person. Resist the invitation, say, we see this differently. My answer isn't changing. They push once more. We're not done talking about this. Now state the action you control. I'm not discussing it further. If you keep pushing, I'm ending the conversation. And if they continue, I'm ending it now. I'll see you Monday. Then follow through, end the call, leave the room, go back to work. If you cannot leave immediately because it is a meeting or a shared responsibility, move the request out of live pressure. Send the shift request through the scheduling app. If my availability changes, I'll update it there. The action matters. Without it, I'm not discussing this becomes one more sentence available for debate. Notice what never happened. You did not expose them. You did not call them manipulative. You did not humiliate them or try to make them surrender. You stopped participating in a conversation that had become a pressure loop. That is how you respond to manipulation without becoming manipulative yourself. Your success is not measured by whether the other person becomes calm. Some people may become louder when explanations stop working. That does not mean the response failed. The win is that you did not supply a fourth reason. Enter a third argument or negotiate against yourself. The part most people miss when dealing with a manipulator is the difference between a sincere question and repeated pressure. A sincere question gives you room to answer and can survive hearing no. A pressure loop keeps changing form, logic, guilt, accusation, insult. While pursuing the same result, you do not need a perfect label for the person. Respond to the pattern you can observe, and do not judge the pattern only by tone. Pressure can sound angry, but it can also sound disappointed, wounded, or unusually reasonable. The useful question is not, do they sound manipulative? It is, are they making room for my answer, or only searching for the version that gives them what they want? Answer the original request clearly. At the first challenge, pause and stop adding reasons. At the next challenge, repeat the decision. If the pressure continues, state what you will do, and do it. That is also how to stop over-explaining in the moment. Do not focus on sounding fearless. Focus on deciding what information is actually owed. One exception matters. If the situation includes threats, stalking, financial control, or possible violence, do not use confrontation to prove strength. Prioritize distance, documentation, and appropriate support. For ordinary pressure, rehearse one line now. Which would be easier to remember when your mind goes blank? I've answered you. Or, my answer isn't changing. Choose the one you would actually use. If you leave it in the comments, treat that as rehearsal for the next real conversation. You are not a defendant. Your decision does not become a public case because someone dislikes it. Calm power is not making the other person surrender. It is keeping possession of your own choice. The next time they push, do not build a better defense. Pause. Give the short answer. And close the conversation. Subscribe to the Unbothered Edge for more calm, practical ways to respond when people pressure, dismiss, or disrespect you. Your next calm response starts here.